episode of the Cozy Corner of Cinema. This is episode number 228, being recorded on Wednesday, August 12th, 2026. It's a wonderful day out. The cats are definitely enjoying themselves. One of them's running around right now, but they've been in the windows, they've been sleeping, enjoying the breeze that's been coming through. One of the cats is sleeping right here, so that's really wonderful. Yeah, the summer is kind of coming to a close. We're now in the end of it. It's August right now, as I was saying before, and the seasons kind of all blend into each other. But now's the time when we're going to start getting into a lot of cooler days. Knock on wood, I feel like I keep thinking that the hotter days are going to go by the wayside, and then we get another hot day, and coming home from work and I'm sweaty, and I'm just like, oh man. So whatever, it'll be in due time. We don't want to rush anything either. You don't want to be being like, oh man, I can't wait for it to be colder out. I can't wait for it to be this month or that day, and then the time comes and you're like, oh man, I wish it was hotter out. I wish it was this or that, or you really kind of want to really cherish every opportunity you get to really live your life, man. When you're sort of doing what you want to do, when you are even in a situation where you're like, man, I just don't want to, you're at work and whatever it is, man, just not trying to rush anything, just really sort of enjoying it, really, because there's so many people who like they live their lives and it's just getting to the end of the work week, or trying to get to the end of something, or I forgot who said it, but somebody was talking about the feeling of like always wanting to be somewhere else, and then when you're at that place wanting to be somewhere else from there. So you're like, say you got to go to the grocery store or whatever, you got to do a couple of errands, you're like, I want to get to the grocery store, I want to get here, I want to get here, oh, I want to be home, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh man, the day flew by, instead of really kind of taking in the experiences of each. But yeah, with that said, I hope you guys are all doing very well. I hope you guys are all working on whatever it is you need to be working on. Your writing, your filmmaking, your learning of anything. Just keeping up, being consistent. Being consistent and being disciplined, which is be very hard to do these days. You have so many distractions around us. It's very easy to kind of just go on your phone and doom scroll, as they say, or go online and, oh man, you see what this person said online, I've got to get all upset about him and do this and that. It's like you don't even know who this person is. This is probably a bot. It's so easy. You just see people like glued to these things, people getting into arguments online and fighting about just the most nonsense kind of stuff, and it's just not worth it, man. If you have that, I don't want to use I don't want to use the term free time, because there ain't no such thing as free time. It's just time. But if you if you're at somewhere, instead of going on your phone and doom scrolling, or going on these apps or something like that, you do something, you do something that's more beneficial out of it. Whatever it is, man. You read a book, you work on your writing, you work on, I don't know, crafting up an idea for something. But ultimately, it's whatever you want to do. It's not my place to tell you how to live your life and do what you want to do, as long as you're not hurting yourself or anybody else. But really just want to take advantage of these great moments, take advantage of these great days that we have. Let's see. How's the coffee here? It's a little bit warm, so I think it'll be good for now. If I need to get up, I will. But let's see here. I wanted to talk about something from the last time that I ran out of time for and I couldn't. But it kind of ties into what I was talking about, not only last time, but before, my love for Something Weird Video. Something Weird Video releasing all these strange oddities, to say the least. Just these random odds and ends, all these just 60s and 50s sort of gosh, how do you even describe Something Weird Video? Well, it is there's the Herschell Gordon-Lewis film Something Weird from 1967. Something Weird was founded by Mike Vraney in 1990, putting together all these old kind of strange sort of sex films, softcore sort of stuff, but then these weird kind of cheap horror movies. It weren't even like B pictures; they were like D pictures, man. Um, but you look at a lot of the titles they're putting out, and you start to kind of get an idea of their sort of output. I've talked about before about some of their films, and on YouTube, I gotta look here actually while I'm talking. I'll see if I can find it, but they had a YouTube channel where they put up a bunch of their stuff, and a bunch of like full movies. And yeah, here it is. It's been about a year since they've uploaded anything, but a lot of feature length films on here. Let's see. Yeah, the last one they did was Mr. Angel in 1966. It's funny. On YouTube. It shows the videos that you've watched with the red bar at the bottom. And I've watched the last couple of these. I watched Mr. Angel, Daredevil, Man of Steel, Broadway Jungle, and The Seventh Commandment. And if you asked me anything about them, I could not tell you. But I think something weird, maybe most synonymous, most famous with the Herschell Gordon-Lewis films, primarily his blood films. Although I don't know if they put out his early kind of sex films, or his nudie sort of stuff. I always remember that seeing the DVDs for covers of like Blood Feast and The Wizard of Gore, 2000 Maniacs. It was like the same kind of template for each of the covers. They had that black and white photography. Well, it was a black and white photography, but it was almost like a collage in a way. It's hard to explain, with the border around it, and they promised these really alluring, really sadistic kinds of films, and then more times than not, they're very, very dull, very, I don't want to use the term schlocky, but, I guess it sometimes can be. Herschel Lewis, people kind of have strong opinions on him, positively or negatively. I think he's a fascinating filmmaker, somebody who really was in it just for the sensationalism of it all, but he did end up making a couple of worthwhile films. To me, the most worthwhile of his was at the time his last film, which was the Gorgor Girls, which I think the title is a little misleading. It's more of like a comedy detective film about these murders, but it's that lead actor is just so good in the film. He's so charismatic, and I think that's pretty safe to say my favorite of his work. And then 2000 Maniacs. I do like. They did a remake of that. They did actually a remake and a sequel to the remake. I think they did like 2001 Maniacs, and I never saw the remake, but the original, it's not bad. It's got some real inventive kills in it. I remember when I was younger, I would go on. I mean, this was 2000. Boy, oh boy, 2006, 2007. But I'd go on YouTube and I'd watch like old kind of trailers they were put out. And I remember some of these movies that I watch now are just so ridiculous. It makes you laugh. But I was watching these trailers and I'm like, boy, this looks like a scary, scary movie. I remember I was like watching the trailer for 2000 Maniacs and I was like, oh, and they were I don't know if they actually even flat out showed some of the kills. But they showed setups to them, and there's kind of hokey now. You watch it's kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, just the idea of like being trapped in this town, and everyone is out to get. Everyone is like, oh, we don't know these people; these are outsiders, and it's funny. I just recently saw Eli Roth's new film, Ice Cream Man, and it kind of gave me that 2000 Maniacs vibe because in that film, the kids in the town get overtaken by this ice cream man and they start killing the adults. Kind of like Children of the Corn esque, if you will, in the ways. But some of the kills in Ice Cream Man are just so they're so ridiculous. You can't help but laugh. Like a guy gets his head crushed with a seesaw. And it's like it's so silly. But it was kind of giving me that vibe with 2000 Maniacs, where it's like in 2000 Maniacs, it's so elaborate, not even elaborate. It's just so ridiculous. Like I think I'm trying to remember. They put a guy in this barrel. I think they have like nails sticking in the barrel, and they toss him down a hill. I mean, it's just so silly, but it's just funny when you're a kid and you kind of have these ideas of a film you hadn't seen in a while, where you think like, oh man, this is gonna be something really scary, or oh man, when I was a kid, this is a really scary movie, and then you watch it and it's just like, boy, oh boy, it does not. It's definitely very sobering to watch that as an adult. I have that with a lot of comedy. Sometimes I'll revisit a comedy, excuse me, and I watch it as an adult, and I'm like, oh boy, this does not hold up. But yeah, Herschel Gordon-Lewis. I actually have that Arrow box set. Actually, it might be within. Do I really want to take this box off? Why not? Why not? I'm already right here. You guys can't see it. I've got just just tons and tons of films here that have to be organized. But right here, I got this box of box sets, and right on top here we go. This was you can't see it, but I got it in my hands. It's the Arrow video, the big serial box set of Herschell Gordon-Lewis's films. You can kind of hear that. And it comes with, let's open it up. Why not? I haven't opened this in a little while because I went through all these films and I haven't really had a need or an interest to go back to them. They put out a bigger edition that was it was like a square box, and it came with some extra stuff. It came with like I think a vinyl record, or it was like a single, like a 7 inch or whatever size those are. And actually, you know what? Coffee's just about out, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause it for just a moment, and we'll talk about some of these Herschel Gordon-Lewis movies that are in this box set. All right, back with the hot coffee. Although you're listening and it was instantaneous, but yeah, I got these Herschel Gordon-Lewis Feast collection full of bloody goodness. What a fun box set. They don't, they gotta make more box sets like this. Maybe not exactly like this, but I feel like, yeah, I don't know. You don't really see fun box sets like this anymore. That's cool. Anyways, got these big books here. My gosh, they're housed in these giant books. Oh my goodness. We got book one here, and I think what spaces them out is that they come on Blu-ray and DVD, which is fascinating. All on double features. So, yeah, but the oh, okay, that's weird. Yeah, so Blood Feast and Scum of the Earth. I guess I'll briefly talk about these. I have watched all these. Let's see. Blood Feast, Scum of the Earth. Blood Feast is ridiculous. It's have you ever heard of an Egyptian feast? It's just nonsense. It's an hour. I mean, you can go buy it pretty quickly. Yeah, that was another one when I saw like a clip of it as a kid, and that first kill in the bathtub, I was like, oh, that's scary. And then you watch the movie, you're like, oh my gosh. Scum of the Earth. That was like a drama. I'm trying to remember. It was like the girl was getting photographed. She gets part of this modeling business, but things go wrong. I think I actually like that one. 2000 Maniacs and Moonshine Mountain. Talked about 2000 Maniacs. Moonshine Mountain. Herschel Gordon-Lewis different kinds of films. Did like kind of exploitation biker films. And Moonshine Mountain is one of these exploitation films, and I don't remember a lot about it. It's been a while since I've watched these, so I'm going purely off memory here. Color Me Blood Red and Something Weird. Color Me Blood Red, I think was actually one of the ones I liked a bit more because it's just so silly. This guy who is, he's an artist, he's a painter, and I don't even remember how he discovers it, but he discovers that, the blood is a good supplement for paint, and there's a whole thing. I remember there was one like piece of dialogue towards the end that was cracking me up. There was something ridiculous, like this guy's going bananas, or something like that. And then something weird. Truly could not tell you a thing about. I have absolutely no idea what happens in that movie. The gruesome twosome is not good. It's pretty dull. It's a very short film, and then you read after the fact about how Herschel Gordon-Lewis had to space it out. So he adds in this ridiculous opening scene of these two mannequin heads doing this like comedy thing, and they're just cutting back and forth while someone's doing ADR. Or doing like a voiceover. It's very strange. And then A Taste of Blood, I absolutely have no recollection of. I could not tell you what happens in that. In the second book here, what do we got? She Devil on Wheels and Just for the Hell of It. She Devil on Wheels, a biker film, and Just for the Hell of It, I think it's like a teenage youth movie. I forgot which one had the scene where they put a baby in a trash can very clumsily. They didn't. They wanted to make sure not to hurt the baby, of course. But the way it was framed, I think they may have even like, I don't know. I think I'm making it up. I think they light the trash on fire, or did I make that up like a sadist? Just for the hell of it, I remember there's a scene at a dance in like a house. Oh wait, no, Just for the hell of it is the one because I see the picture here. They do put the baby in the trash. They have an illustration right here. Why are they? I don't even remember why they did that. It's ridiculous. Let's see here. How to Make a Doll and the Wizard of Gore. How to Make a Doll is a test of patience, I tell you. It actually starts off okay. I'm like, all right, he's doing some comedy, whatever, and boy, oh boy, it just never ends. And then the Wizard of Gore is, oh man, I feel bad. I'm just trashing this movie. Wizard of Gore is like, Man, you really can just watch the trailer and you got the movie. Because all the best gore, all the best scenes are in the trailer. The Wizard of Gore is just so dull. And then there's a twist ending. You go, oh boy, that's wild. And then you go home and you forget all about it. They did a remake of this with Crispin Glover, which apparently is not very good, but I have not watched it yet. The Gore Gore Girls and The Stuff Will Kill Ya. The Gore Gore Girls, of all the films I could recommend. I think this is probably the only one I actually think is, I guess this and 2000 Maniacs has a camp kind of factor, but I think the Gore Gore Girls, say that 5 times fast, is a little bit of that, but I do really like the back and forth between the two leads. I do like that film a lot. And This Stuff Will Kill Ya. I couldn't tell you. Let's see. And then it comes with the documentary that I did want to rewatch, but I forgot to because I saw I saw it when it came out, which is the Godfather of Gore documentary from I don't know what year that was, 2007 maybe? I don't know. I think I saw it before I even saw the majority of his films. I maybe only seen Blood Feast at that point. And I remember he goes back to the town in Florida, I believe it was, where they filmed 2000 Maniacs, and people in the town are like, "Yeah, we love the film, and this is our town, and this and that." And it comes with this book here. This is very nice, very nicely put together set. Arrow did a really nice job with this. And this is a little. This is just fun. These are just fun to look at. It's like almost like a zine in a way. I mean, you can look it up online. I'll try to describe some of it. But have you ever had an Egyptian feast? Looking to throw a party that'll be the talk of the town? Exotic caterer I said Fuad Ramses. I forgot to mention of course, Fuad Ramses. They say it about 5 times. They go, Fuad Ramses offers his top tips for hosting an event fit for a pharaoh. Laying on an authentic dinner such as one might have attended in ancient Egypt is by no means a stress-free endeavor. Is that a typo? This is a stress-free endeavor. Jeez. But you can prepare for success by following my top 5 tips. I'm not gonna read all these. For a more detailed guide on how to host an authentic Egyptian feast and other unusual occasions, be sure to pick up Fuad Ramsey's book, Ancient Weird Religious Rites, available in all good bookstores. And then you got a thing on Color Me Blood Red. Artist Adam Sorg is struggling to finish off his latest masterpiece. He's looking for just the right shade of red to color his work with. Can you help him? Tip! This is fun. If you're struggling, why not invite a friend around to lend a hand? Or even a whole arm. I got a little comic book of Scum of the Earth. That's pretty cool. And this is just me describing the book now. This is great podcasting. Poster. Oh, that's cool. How to make a doll. And they have this, the little cutouts you can do. Put on the lady. Can you spot the difference? Can I spot the difference? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Can you escape 2000 Maniacs? It's like a fun little book. If you're listening to this and you get a chance, look this up. This is actually cool. I don't know if I've ever actually even looked at this. Or maybe I skimmed it. Yeah, Connie Mason, who was in Blood Feast. Boy, oh boy, what an actress. Yeah, here we go. We get into a little bit more of the actual kind of essays here about the films. The Blood and Guts trilogy. Should be Blood Feast. Just some writing on that. 2000 Maniacs and A Taste of Blood. Oh, no, I'm sorry. And Color Me Blood Red. Some stuff from Something Weird. And then some information in the back. Yeah, it was a fun box set. The films are really not all that special. In fact, most of them are not very good. But boy, these are fun. It's like a good display piece. You hang them up. You put them on your shelf. You don't hang them up. You put them on your shelf, and you're like, there are people like, what is that? And you're like, let me tell you about Herschell Gordon-Lewis. So let me tell you all about the Egyptian feasts. Now here's a fun game. How do I put it all back? Oh, like that. There we go. Yeah, I gotta put this back. I gotta put all these box sets away. I have so much just random stuff in here. Random, what did I see? I got, got the Eric Romer 6 Moral Tales. I got the Critters collection. I got, what is this? The Homegrown Horrors Volume 3. I got a lot of just random stuff in here I gotta go through. One of these days, Alice, one of these days, I'm gonna go through all these box sets, but today is not that day. Did not even mean to talk about Herschell Gordon-Lewis and his films, but here we are, talking about Herschell Gordon-Lewis and his films. I have, what is it, the quote-unquote lost films of Herschell Gordon-Lewis from Vinegar Syndrome. That was an early release from them, and I think it was just some of his sex stuff, his softcore little nudie movies. And he eventually came back in 2000. Oh boy, was it 6 that he came back to do Blood Feast 2? It may have even had a subtitle, All You Can Eat. 2002 is when it came back, and then he did a couple movies after that. Will I try to remember or will I just guess? Well, I guess I'm gonna do both as the page loads, but I think he did the Uh-Oh Show, and he did just that. Okay, never mind. So yeah, he did the Uh-Oh Show in 2009, and then Herschell Gordon-Lewis's Blood Mania from 2017, which is an anthology with him, Kevin Littlelight, and Melanie Reinbolt, and I don't know who they are, so I have no comment. I also have not seen it, so no comment. Boy, oh boy, I got really kind of off topic here on that. But I was talking about something weird. Then I started talking about Herschell Gordon-Lewis. I mean, they're synonymous. When I think of something weird, aside from the fact that he has the movie Something Weird, I always think about these damn movies. And he did a lot of movies too. He did, oh my gosh, he has a lot of films. The Alley Tramp, Suburban Roulette, The Ecstasies of Women, Linda and Aileen, Miss Nymphet's Zappin', The Year of the Yahoo, that's what they called me when I was born. The Adventures of Lucky Pierre, Living Venus. Wow, what films. I love Something Weird video. I love, RIP to Mike Rainey, but when I look at Something Weird's catalog of titles, I mean, these are things that no one is restoring. No one cared about. No one cares about now, which is crazy. I mean, even though we have these boutique labels and we have these companies that are putting out these nice new restorations and transfers of these oddities, there really will never be another company like Something Video. And thankfully, AGFA, the American Genre Film Archive, they have been putting out collections involved with Something Weird, because now it is Michelle. What is her last name? I had it before. That's crazy. It's not coming up on here. It was Michelle. Oh my goodness. How is this happening to me live? Somebody's screaming the name right now. Hold on a second. It was Michelle Clifford, who I thought took over Something Weird video, but maybe I am misremembering. I don't know. I tried Googling up Something Weird Michelle, and I was not getting a result here. But either way. Oh, no, it was not Michelle. It was Lisa Petrucci. How embarrassing. I've been crediting it to Michelle this whole time. It was Lisa Petrucci, who was Mike Rainey's widow. And she has been keeping Something Weird alive. And now we're getting all these Blu-rays. Now we're getting all these collections from AGFA, from, who put that out? Was that, No, it doesn't matter either way. But anyway, we're getting a lot of these compilations now. We're getting a lot of titles, a lot of records, and they're keeping Something Weird alive because there are just so many. I mean, these are total movies that you put on in the background while you're having a party or while you need something visually appealing and you go, what is happening on the screen here? Now, to sit down and watch them, results may vary. There are definitely a lot of them where you watch it and you really just don't retain anything because they're just so dull. But then there are a lot of great ones too. There's a lot of good ones, I should say. Maybe not great. There's some great ones. I would say the only great one that comes to mind is Toys Are Not for Children from, I think, 72, which was a Something Weird title, but was released on Blu-ray from Arrow Video. And that is a very, very underseen film. Um, And but I'm sure I think there's got to be other ones. Like, I mean, that's not the only one I'm sure is great. I'm just drawing a blank on a lot of the other kind of standout titles. I do want to talk more about the book Sleazoid Express, a mind-twisting tour through the grindhouse cinema of Times Square. But if I put it off to next week again, then I'll have more time to read more of it because it's been one of my favorite reads in some time. It's one of these where I'm just so enjoying every page. I'm so enjoying the details, the pictures, the stories of 42nd Street, the films that played there, and I'll talk about Andy Milligan as well because that's another box set that I have right there actually. And Andy Milligan, a staple of 42nd Street, a staple of cinemas with the films he was making, with the underground sort of gay scene that was there as well. I recently rewatched Vapors, and I did a double with that with Seeds, and boy oh boy, what a strange double feature. Vapors is a very subdued drama, a lot of dialogue. It takes place in this bathhouse. It's short, it's only about 30 minutes, but it's very well done. And then you get to Seeds, and it is madness. It is like running around the house. This family dynamic is insane. The grandma's going wild. There's incest going on. I mean, boy, oh boy, it's one that I don't know if I'd recommend a double of that because well, I guess if you do, definitely watch Vapors first, because if you're riding the high off of Seeds and then you go to Vapors, you're going to be waiting quite a while for anything to really go on, because with that film, it is far more dialogue driven, far more intimate than the chaos of these people running around. I also watched, is it the Ghoulish Ones? Is that what it's called? What the hell's the name of that film? It is The Ghastly Ones. The Ghastly Ones, that is right, which was okay. The standout for me that was the first of his films I had seen, and one of the great 70s adult films is Fleshpot and 42nd Street, a film I've talked about on the show before. Very heartfelt, very intimate film with two just knockout performances from Harry Reams and Laura Cannon. And I will talk more about the book. I'll talk more about actually another something word title that I recently watched and liked quite a bit called The Voices of Desire, an early work from Chuck Vincent, but that will be talked about next time. So I'm going to wrap it up here. This is a Herschell Gordon-Lewis blood-drenched episode talking about his damn films, and that will do it for this episode. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this talk. I hope you all take advantage of this wonderful day, or whenever you're listening to this in the future, take advantage of the day that lays ahead of you, or the night that lays ahead of you. Whatever it is, man, it's your own prerogative. Anyways, that's all I got to say, so take care and all the best until next time.